What's going on, Tamers? It's me, Guy, who finally pulled himself away from playing BT14 games to actually make videos once again. But this video is not actually about BT14 at all. In fact, it's about a set that's going to be releasing pretty soon after BT14's release, which includes some more Ghost Game cards, which I did not expect at all. For folks who are unaware, over here in Japan, they are doing a special kind of Tamer Exchange nationwide tour for Digimon. They're going to have 5 separate locations where they're going to be having Digimon events. And at those locations, you can buy up to 2 boxes per person, these limited card sets. It's going to be, I think the whole set is like 30 cards. 20 cards of that set are going to be newly released cards that have never been seen before, and then 10 cards are going to be reprints from previous card sets. So these 5 events are going to be taking place from this end of July to the start of, I believe, September it is. And then Bandai's already said on their Digimon website that at a later date they're going to put these on the premium Bandai website so people can purchase them online as well. Unfortunately, no word on how these are going to be released in English, so it'll be interesting to see how you guys get these, whether they're part of the upcoming Rising Wind booster for you guys, or if they're just separately packaged like this one is in Japan. But like I said before, this is actually going to be all Ghost Game themed, so if you thought that Rising Wind was the end of Ghost Game along with the anime series that I believe ended earlier this year, then you have been dead wrong. More cards are coming and more support is also coming as well. In this video, I want to talk about the 3 mascots for Ghost Game, as well as the support they're receiving in this limited pack set, that being of course Jellymon, Angoramon, and the star of the show, Gammamon. Additionally, there is the secret rare for the set, which is a very cool effect not seen before in the game that I also want to take a moment to talk about as well. So buckle up and let's hop into it. So the first line I want to talk about is going to be the Angoramon line. The Angoramon line has been a little bit lackluster in my experience, just because the prevalence of X antibody decks being able to OTK you in a single turn by just promoting Digimon from raising and then winning that turn made the deck's ability to rest Digimon and gain effects off of those Digimon a little bit more difficult. However, with the introduction of the Ace cards as well as the counter mechanics of the game, more decks are starting to go wider now, which means the Angoramon line might be able to take advantage of some of these wider boards that are out there. And each of the Angoramon line cards here allow you to rest an opponent's Digimon or Tamer and gain bonus effects off of that, such as DP+, things like Blocker. And then once we get to our level 6, we see the Dire-Rabbitmon Ace card, the new Ace card for the Angoramon line, which allows you to suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then if they have no unsuspended Digimon on the board, you gain 2 memory. So it's a way to steal a turn. It doesn't have the turn-stealing power of something like a Metal Garurumon Ace, but taking 2 memory from an opponent means that they're going to have to recalculate how their turn is going to play out, and they're probably going to be going a little bit slow overall. The next line we're going to talk about is probably the one that I like the most and the one that I'm most interested in, and that's going to be the Jellymon line. Jellymon in the past focused on adding cards to your hand and then using those cards later on by discarding them and then making your Digimon active for additional security attacks. And with the cards introduced in this limited set here, it seems like that's kind of the game plan with a little bit more robustness. The lower level Digimon in the set allow you to gain card draw with minimal effort. On start of main phase, if you have less than 7 cards in hand, draw cards. Simple as that. And then once you get your level 5 Tetismon, you're going to be able to discard cards to make her active again. Something similar we've seen before from some of the Tetismons in the past. The added kicker here is that the Tetismon's inheritance effect allows you to become active on either turn whenever a card with Jellymon in its name is discarded. Now you're probably wondering, East, how am I going to discard cards on my opponent's turn? And that is where the new level 6 Amphimon Ace comes in. Amphimon Ace, when you Digivolve here, you can discard up to 4 cards from your hand, and when you do, you can source strip up to 4 cards on your opponent's side of the board, whether it's Tamers or Digimon, and then after that you can choose a Digimon or a Tamer with no sources and send it back to your opponent's hand. And if that wasn't enough, now that you have all of these Jellymon named cards in your trash, you can use the on attack effect for the Amphimon Ace to take 3 of those Jellymon cards, put them at the bottom of your deck, and then gain security attack. That combined with the Tetismon's ability to become active again and attack again means you're going to be taking out a ton of security in a single turn. So next, let's take a look at the main protagonist for Ghost Game. That's going to be the Gammamon line. Now, Gammamon was probably one of the stronger decks that released out of the Rising Wind reboot booster. You could mix that with like red and purple Gammamon cards to create a pretty powerful deck with your Proximamon with the secret rare in that set. And the cards for this limited set just expand upon that a bit. So first off, we have things like the purple Gammamon, which has the sinister effect of whenever one of your other Digimon is deleted, he can Digivolve once per turn. It's pretty wild. The game is also getting another Bokomon, which is typically seen in hybrid decks of the past before. However, this one is focused on Gammamon being able to search out Gammamon cards whenever it's played. And because that is Gammamon in its text, you could put it in your sources. It'd be kind of weird, but I mean, it is an extra color, and that's important and for a few reasons we'll talk about in just a moment. And as we move to the level 5s and higher, Gammamon actually got 2 new Ace cards. The first being Regulusmon Ace, which lets you discard a card and then add a Gammamon named card from your trash to that Digimon's sources, and when you do, it allows you to delete one of your opponent's Digimon and play level 4 from your trash. So lots of things happening for that Ace card, but very powerful indeed. Gammamon is of course getting access to a new level 6 Cirrusmon, being the Cirrusmon Ace from this set. Whenever you Digivolve with this guy, you're going to be able to blow up a Digimon on your opponent's side of the board that's 8k or lower. And then for every different colored Digimon in your sources, you can increase that threshold by 1000. Because the deck was typically like red-purple in the past, you could typically get like 10,000 destruction off of this effect, maybe 11,000 if you're really stretching for like a green card or something like that. However, I think with the addition of the new Bokomon, it might be able to go up to 12,000, so that'll be really interesting. This Hearthstone also has the added benefit of being able to steal turns, not quite to the effect of the Rabbitmon we talked about before. However, on either turn, whenever a Digimon is deleted somewhere on the board, you're going to gain 1 memory. Also, I cannot end this video without talking about the secret rare from the set, which is the new Quantumon. So many good effects we've never seen before in the game, and honestly makes you a little bit scared because me and all my homies hate green, and this thing is part green. But first of all, Quantumon, you Digivolve into this guy, and if you're willing to take one of your Digimon and put it on top of your security stack, which if you're playing yellow, probably not a problem here. But if you're willing to do that, it allows you to look at all of your opponent's security and then take one of their security cards and put it on top of their deck. So first of all, being able to remove cards from your opponent's security stack in ways that I don't think are really counterable, with the exception of maybe like Venusmon, who unfortunately is a very popular card right now. So, however, the real power of Quantumon is its end of turn effect, and that is, at the end of your turn, you're going to be able to call either Digimon, Tamer, or Option card, and then your opponent is going to take the top card of their deck, which you have potentially stacked because you got the Digivolve effect, and they're going to look at it. And if that card is the category that you named, then Quantumon for the next turn is not affected by cards of that category's effects. Not just that card, but cards of that category. And then finally, you're going to be able to take that opened card and put it back either at the top or the bottom of your opponent's deck. So this thing does 4 things all at once. It helps you recover by taking a Digimon from your board and putting it back on top of your security. It gets rid of one of your opponent's security by just placing it on top of their deck. Then it gains the ability to protect itself from effects for turn upon turn as long as you guess right. And then finally it allows you to control your opponent's next card draw when it's Digivolve, because you can take that top card again and put it either at the top or the bottom. As long as you have a pretty decent idea of what the meta looks like for the game, you can pretty much call correctly with the Quantumon pretty consistently. And even if you don't call correctly, you can just keep calling the card that you think that your opponent's deck would be able to take out the Quantumon, and then, it just stays on the board turn after turn. And with all these cards dropping from the end of this month until September over here in Japan, I'm super excited. Again, I was really hyped for the Jellymon deck when it first dropped from the reboot booster, and now that it's getting more support, it seems very, very scary. Additionally, I have just held on to my Gammamon deck. It's one that I actually like to play pretty often if I'm just playing some casual games, so it'll be nice to soup that up as well. Anyways, folks, as always, thanks again for watching. Bit of a news update here. I'm going to be resuming the meta reports this weekend with the first BT14 meta report. Make sure you're subscribed so you know when that drops. Anyways, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.